Chris is back with a new Driving Me Crazy segment where he takes a closer look at things that drive our viewers crazy on the roads. And Chris, you're talking about speeding today.
And there's lots of ways you can spin speeding and look at that. But one specific question I want to ask is, do you think there is a speed cushion, a speed at which you can go above the speed limit, but still probably not get a ticket?
I've led myself to believe, whether this is true or not, I've led myself to believe that as long as you're going between 1 and 9 miles over the speed limit, you're going to be okay. I don't know that that's true, but that's what my brain tells me.
So I asked that very question of law enforcement. Stand by on that. I also asked that question of a few folks gassing up at Radio Cab, and here's what they had to say. Do you think there's a magic number there?
I say it's probably between 5 and 10 miles over.
Do you think there's some sort of speed cushion?
Yeah.
What do you think that number is?
It's probably 10 over.
Nobody on the road, and I got pulled over for being 5 miles over the limit, and that was in Washington State in the 80s. It has to be. Right, so I don't go over the speed limit in Washington.
One time, 45 years ago, she was doing 5 over the speed limit in Washington, and now she won't speed there. You got to love the deterrent effect.
Never forgot that, right?
Long-lasting deterrent. Okay, so I did ask that question, and WSP got back to me. So Trooper Dakota Russell said this. He said each trooper has the discretion on what they will or will not write a ticket for. They also have discretion on whether they will or will not stop. He also added that in Clark County alone last year, WSP made more than 18,000 stops for speeding, and citations were issued 68% of the time. So about 12,000 people got tickets for speeding. From WSP in Clark County. All right, in Oregon, know this. Speeding is broken down by class, A, B, C, D, right? 11 miles per hour over is considered a Class C violation. That gets a minimum $165 fine. Know that that automatically doubles in work zones and safety corridors, in some cases up to $1,000. OSP calls speeding one of their fatal 5. And in February alone, troopers issued more than 8,000 citations for speeding. And we bring all of this up because as we go into the Memorial Day weekend and summer in general, it's known as an especially dangerous time on the road. You've heard the term the deadly 100, the deadliest 100 days, right? There's younger, less experienced drivers out there. And typically this is the time of the year where law enforcement get grants to up enforcement and whatnot. So we didn't answer the question.
No, I mean, police aren't going to tell us it's okay to go X number of miles over the speed limit, of course. But it is funny to me when you interview those people. Somehow we all did develop this idea in our heads that you can go a certain mile an hour over the speed limit and be okay.
And the question is, do you stay with the flow? And you said, well, you got pulled over once for staying with the flow.
Sure.
I will say that you can also get a ticket if you're holding up the flow.
If the flow's going 100 miles an hour, you probably don't want to follow the flow.
Probably just want to step off the freeway, right?
Right.
All right, I want to know what drives you nuts on the roads. You can post your videos or photos on my social media, or you can email me, cmcginnis@kgw.com.